In 1898 he became professor at the École Normale, and in 1900 at the Collège de France, where he remained until his death in 1941. In 1907 he won international fame with his masterpiece, L'évolution créatrice, Creative Evolution. He became almost overnight the most popular figure in the philosophic world, and all that was needed for his success was the placing of his books upon the Index Expurgatorius in 1914. In that same year he was elected to the French Academy. It is a remarkable thing that Bergson, the David destined to stay the Goliath of materialism, was in youth a devotee of Spencer. But too much knowledge leads to skepticism. Early devotees are the likeliest apostates, as early sinners are senile saints. The more he studied Spencer, the more keenly conscious Bergson became of the three rheumatic joints of the materialist mechanism: between matter and life, between body and mind, and between determinism and choice. The patience of Pasteur had discredited the belief in abiogenesis, the generation of life by non-living matter, and after 100 years of theory and 1,000 vain experiments, the materialists were no nearer than before to solving the problem of the origin of life. Again, though thought and brain were obviously connected, the mode of connection was as far from obvious as it had ever been. If mind was matter and every mental act a mechanical resultant of neutral states, of what use was consciousness? Why could not the material mechanism of the brain dispense with this epiphenomenon, as the honest and logical Huxley called it, this apparently useless flame thrown up by the heat of cerebral commotion? Finally, was determinism any more intelligible than free will? If the present moment contains no living and creative choice, and is totally and mechanically the product of the matter and motion of the moment before, then so was that moment the mechanical effect of the moment that preceded it, and that again of the one before, and so on, until we arrive at the primeval nebula as the total cause of every later event, of every line of Shakespeare's plays, and every suffering of his soul, so that the somber rhetoric of Hamlet and Othello, of Macbeth and Lear, in every clause and every phrase, was written far off there in the distant skies and the distant eons by the structure and content of that legendary cloud. What a draught upon credulity! What an exercise of faith such a theory must demand in this unbelieving generation! What mystery or miracle of Old Testament or New could be half so incredible as this monstrous fatalistic myth, this nebula composing tragedies? There was matter enough for rebellion here, and if Bergson rose so rapidly to fame, it was because he had the courage to doubt where all the doubters piously believed.